I want to be royalty. I want to have power. So I'm learning about all of the monarchs in England, throughout history. It's the conquerors and the ones that inherited all of their wealth and glory. I guess I plan to do both. Moving on to Anne of Cleves, the German princess. This was the blind date from hell. Henry's marriage to Anne of Cleves was based on a need for a political alliance with Anne's brother William, who was the head of the Protestants of Western Germany. Henry figured that this might help to fend off attacks from the Holy Roman Empire and Catholic France. The problem was, Henry basically thought Anne of Cleves smelled funny and he didn't like her looks, and so only after 6 months the marriage was declared unconsummated and annulled. Henry's quote-unquote buddy, Thomas Cromwell, again, keep your friends close, keep your frenemies closer. He was a lawyer and statesman and chief minister. He was beheaded on orders of Henry. So interesting that Thomas Cromwell was eventually beheaded because he was fierce enemies with Anne Boleyn and was particularly responsible for her downfall, which involved her being beheaded. What goes around comes around. Cromwell was executed for treason and heresy. Ironically, Henry felt badly about this after it was too late to do anything about it. Henry was a little, how should we say, impulsive? Perhaps this had something to do with this bad fall that he took while jousting that was so severe that the stress of it all actually caused Anne Boleyn to miscarry. So he had a little warrior battle action while he was on the throne. He had numerous costly and mostly unsuccessful wars with King Francis I of France, the Holy Roman Emperor Charles V, and King James V of Scotland. He was the first English monarch to rule as King of Ireland following the Crown of Ireland Act in 1542. He's known as the father of the Royal Navy. He increased the size of the Navy to over 50 ships. So these are some of the highlights of King Henry. It's not like he was just, searching for male heir, marrying women, beheading them, divorcing them, and, waiting for them to get sick and die. No, he actually was doing a few things. In 1513, Henry invaded France and defeated the French at the Battle of the Spurs. This was a small victory, but it was a huge propaganda opportunity for England. While Henry was away from England, James IV of Scotland, that was Henry's brother-in-law, invaded England. Queen Catherine of Aragon was holding down the fort at the time, and she led the English army and defeated the Scots at the Battle of Flodden. Back to his wives. Wife number 5 was the young Catherine Howard. So Catherine and Henry's marriage, it was one of those that didn't exactly end in wedded bliss. No, someone again lost their head, and it was figuratively Henry and literally Catherine. She was beheaded on the grounds of treason for messing around behind Henry's back. Finally, King Henry VIII's 6th and last wife was Catherine Parr. She was the final queen consort of the House of Tudor. She outlived Henry by a year and 8 months. She had 4 husbands and was England's most married queen. Because of her Protestant sympathies, she upset anti-Protestant officials, and there was a warrant out for her arrest, including by her husband. Then she and King Henry VIII made up, and all was good. Catherine was influential in the passing of the Third Succession Act to restore Mary and Elizabeth to the line of succession to the throne.